I wasn't a fan, Ron, of this in-season tournament when it first came out. I just thought it was a money grab, and I thought that's all it was. I didn't think that it would last long. I just thought it was something as a, in the words of Mars, it was a gimmick. That's all it was. I just thought it was something to just, put some eyes on it. And turns out this thing has become real viable. This thing has become really competitive. I'm really surprised about how not just competitive the games are, the possible playoff series we could see. Like we could see Orlando and the Knicks in the playoffs, and this could be a prelude to it. We could see Toronto and the Knicks in the playoffs. We could see Miami and Orlando in the playoffs. We could see Phoenix and Oklahoma City in the playoffs. And this could be a prelude to it, to what it could possibly be. And I think this has been great for basketball. I think this gives us as fans and also people who watch the game and study the game. I think this gives us a great idea of who these teams are and who they can be, especially playing against high level competition like they're playing. Also, Ron, I love the fact that the divisions get bunched up. So teams that we wouldn't normally see, like when you see the Midwest Division with Chicago and Indiana and Milwaukee, right, and Detroit and Cleveland, well, you would see that division just regularly. Like we don't get to see the Knicks and Milwaukee in the same division. We don't get to see Minnesota in a different division, in a different matchup. And I think it's great, man. I think this is great for basketball. I think this has been great for the season, and I love it. I do. I've definitely come around more to it. So this is fantastic.
The one thing about the in-season tournament too, about just like the level of competition, like when you got these guys that are already like super rich, that 500,000 isn't really a big deal to them. But I think it was Frank Isola was talking about it last week, and he was saying it's not about those guys. Like for instance, like let's use Milwaukee for example. It's not so much about Giannis. Giannis isn't like, oh, I need that 500,000. You know what I'm saying? That's like it's like sock money to him, right?
Right.
But he's thinking about Ryan Rollins and the other guy. So it's like when you offer rich people a certain amount of money, that's not really going to move them. But if they can do something for the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th guy on the roster, it's making even the starters play harder for guys that might only play a couple minutes. Although Ryan Rollins is playing bigger minutes, But
Yep.
so to your point, like when I walked in, or I stepped in when you were talking about it, Chill, and then Damian, you're talking about it. The high level of basketball that we get in December and late November is awesome. I really enjoy this in-season tournament. And also another thing, Chill, I was thinking about, would it be too much if they mix the conferences a little bit in the groups? Put a little East and
No,
West in
no,
the groups.
they need to do that. That's the only thing I don't like about the in-season tournament.
Yeah,
I would love
I
to
think
see the Lakers play against the Knicks in the first round.
it's coming.
That'd be dope.
Well, so two
Like,
things, Ox, to your point. Two things to your point, Ox. Damian Lillard gave his dough to the people who work in the arena
Right.
in Milwaukee. He ended up giving his dough, which is a big deal. And James, he actually talked about it the year that they won the in-season tournament, that he was playing for all the rest of those guys. No doubt about that. But Ron, to your point, talking about like tweaks to the in-season tournament, Ron, I got an idea. So this whole idea of this being in Vegas, okay, I can appreciate this. Ron, what if we took the in-season tournament, in addition to being in Vegas, what if we started moving it around? How about next year we have it in Seattle? How about next year after that we have it? How about if we have it in Kansas City?
Mars.
How about the year after that we have it in Baltimore? How about we have it in non-NBA cities? Because these people,
dope.
they don't get to see their favorite players. There's people who live in Albuquerque who like the Jazz, and they don't get to see the Jazz, right? There's people who live in other places where they don't get to see their favorite players. What if we took it? We basically took it on the road and had it in different places.
Right. Albuquerque needs
like
a team. I don't know why you look like that. Albuquerque needs a
please.
team.
They go on my vote before Seattle.
Albuquerque needs to grow up. All right, they need to get a little bit more weight in their draws before they think about anything. Hey, before they even consider a G League team. But nah, Chill, that's a great idea. Like,
I like that a lot.
why not?
Yeah,
That's how
But I
Oklahoma
mean, you
City
know-
ended up getting. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that how Oklahoma City ended up getting
Yeah.
their team? So New Orleans,
Yep.
they had a tragedy going on with Hurricane Katrina. They had to move to Oklahoma City. Come to find out, oh shit, they love basketball in Oklahoma City. We may have to get a team here, and that's how that happened. So, just an idea.
That's a really good idea. So I like that. I like that a lot. Just like major cities that are non NBA teams that don't have NBA teams. That'd be really dope.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, but Ox, more so to your point though, like would have loved to see Oklahoma City play against the Heat. That's the 1 seed from the West playing against the 4 seed from the East. Would have loved to see the Thunder play against the Raptors. You know, or the Knicks. Once again, the Knicks play against the Lakers. The Spurs play against, you know, the Heat, whatever, or the Magic, whatever the case may have been. I would have loved to see like the conferences crossed up. Like we see a lot of East Coast versus East Coast teams. We see a lot of West Coast versus West Coast teams, but we don't see them when stakes are high. You know, we only see that when it's the NBA Finals. So I think that just adds another twist to it of competitiveness.
I think this goes back to your logic, Ron. I mean, Ox, about the 16-team format. Like this could be a prelude to that. So if we basically bunched up the tournament where we had all the teams in the NBA, and then we got to the finals, like we got to the last, I don't know, what is it, 8 teams? So instead of it being East and West, we went 1 seed, like to Ron's point, we went 1 seed, which is Oklahoma City, going up against the 8th seed in the East. And we went to 2 seed against the 7th seed in the East. And that way we could possibly get the best teams, if we're being honest, we could get the best teams to win the tournament. And I think and you couple that with it being in, I don't know, well, Indiana already has a team, but if just a non-NBA city, I think it'd be
Kansas
great.
City.
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
Kansas City.
The nasty natty.
Yeah, my thing too though, y'all, because like I did start off by saying how I do like the high level of basketball, and I went on to say like, oh, if they just tweak this, like I don't want to sound ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound ungrateful, even though I think we could do a couple things different. I'm really enjoying this level of basketball this early in the season. You know, chill. It makes it to where I don't have to sit around. Well, not have to, because I enjoy that also. But I can watch the NBA in November, in December. I don't only have to watch college. You know, I can watch the NBA too. So shout out to the in-season tournament.
And
Watching
the
ahead, Damien,
logistics
I'm sorry.
stuff as well is the logistics stuff as well. I think it's the next iteration where we get crossover conference stuff, but I think it's because the early season logistics where they don't want teams to travel too much is why they've sort of married it to the division or the same conference. But I can definitely see a world where they start to mix up the conferences. Because Ron, to your point, why should we only see the East and the West in the finals with high stakes basketball? Like why shouldn't we see that in November and December when these teams are playing at a high level? I think that would be amazing. I also think, to chill, your point's great. Why not go to neutral cities? We already got Las Vegas Summer League, so why not test out some of these other cities that wouldn't get some NBA action? It would be dope to go to Vancouver or to go to some of these other cities.
St. Louis.
And I think it's I think it's the next iteration of. I think they had to see the NBA Cup be successful first, and then I think they'll make further iterations as it goes on.
And I ain't really concerned with the travel, Mars. Is the reason why I used to push back with you when it came to the travel, like a 16-team tournament, Boston playing against the Trailblazers in the first round. Well, with this tournament in particular, first of all, it's only 2 teams. It was only 2 games yesterday. It was the Knicks in Toronto, and it was the Knicks in Toronto, and it was Miami in Orlando. That was it. So if it was those 2 games yesterday, and I don't think Miami plays again until today is Wednesday, or they played Tuesday last night. I don't think they play again until Friday. So I don't think it's a big deal to have 2 East Coast and a West Coast team playing. Nah, because I don't think the travel will be that big a deal at all. No, I don't think so at all.
It's been good, man. It's been good. You know, I got my Lakers winning the tournament, if we're talking about that. For, you know, just FYI, I do have my Lakers winning the tournament. I think OKC plays Phoenix tonight, and we play San Antonio. We're going to beat San Antonio because LeBron's back. And then OKC is going to beat Phoenix because they don't lose basketball games anymore. And then we're going to play OKC, and we're going to beat OKC with the healthy LeBron. That's what I have happening. But yeah, the in-season tournament has been fun. I would like to see some outer conference play, like I was just talking about. That would be nice to see. Everything doesn't have to be Eastern Conference, Western Conference. But I do like the addition of the in-season tournament. I do think it promotes better regular season basketball games than, the typical regular season basketball games. We do kind of create some high leverage moments within the tournament just because it is tournament play. So, yeah, I like the addition of the in-season
Real
tournament.
talk. Just a bit of history for you. The in-season tournament. This is year 3 of it, and the 2 champions. I don't know if you noticed, but the 2 champions of the in-season tournament, the Lakers, who won it, and Milwaukee, who won it, bounced in round 1. They didn't lose, bounced. So maybe, just maybe, we might want to lose to San Antonio because we want to get that juju off us. Why do I say that? Maybe we can beat San Antonio and lose in the championship because the 2 losers of the championship, Oklahoma City, NBA champions, Indiana in the NBA championship. Just an idea, real talk. Just saying.
Should we be just walking past Phoenix right now? Can they compete tonight?
They're gonna lose, but yeah, they can compete. Yeah, they can definitely compete. That's what makes them such a hard team to beat. They do the best they can at not beating themselves, which I think is a good trait to have for a team when you're kind of lacking in the talent department in comparison to other teams. So if you're able to just stay the course and crash the offensive glass and force turnovers and try to limit your turnovers, you give yourself a chance in every game. You're not really going to get blown out unless you're shooting like really, really poorly. And I think that's why they stayed in the game with OKC the first time. And also they did a good job in the non-shame minutes of sparking comebacks. If they're able to do that, yeah, they should be able to compete. But at the end of the day, I'm 84% sure they're going to lose.
Why not 79, Miles? Why are we? What pushed it to 84? Why aren't we stuck at 81%?
Because Devin Booker's questionable. If Devin Booker was ready and available and 100% healthy, I'll be about 79, 78% sure they would lose.
Okay.
But Devin Booker being questionable, I'll say 84%.
That pushes it up. So with Devin Booker being doubtful, would that push it up to like 87 or 89?
Yeah, that's like a 88 and a half, maybe. That's like 88 and a half.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And if he's out, yeah, it's like 92%. Yeah.
Well, I just
it's his groin too.
Yeah, you don't want to play with that. I just
You
saw
shouldn't play.
because I actually had to go fact check this because I didn't think it was real. Like y'all dudes know that Oklahoma City, their starting 5 have been on the floor for these many minutes.
Yeah, because the moment
That's crazy, man.
I was like,
the moment Jada
Jada
got back,
Iverson
went out. Yeah.
I had to go fact check that. I'm like, no, that ain't true. Yes, it is. And then they turn around.
No.
No Hartenstein.
So still 0 minutes even after tonight.
Yep. No Hartenstein.
You know Chet's 20-0 this season?
With Chet in the lineup.
Yeah, Chet didn't play the one game they lost. So Chet hasn't
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody else is 23.
This is like back-to-back years. Because I remember last year was something like that where like Chet doesn't really lose games. When Chet plays, he actually wins quite a lot. Yeah, that's very interesting. Because last year he only played 32 games and they were 26-6. So like Chet doesn't lose very often. So shout out to Chet.
I really like this matchup though with Oklahoma City and Phoenix. And the reason why I like this matchup is because Gillespie puts a lot of pressure on Case and Wallace in their defense. I got to start paying more attention to this kid, Gillespie. I remember him in college. I remember him when he was at Villanova. And Ox, I'm tired of hearing the small point guard logic. I'm sick of that. Jalen Brunson is 6'1", right? Not only is Jalen Brunson 6'1", Tyrese Maxey is 6'2". Not only is Tyrese Maxey 6'2", Chris Paul was 6 feet, right? Darius Garland is 6'1". He might be the best ball handler in the game. It's outside of Kyrie Irving. There aren't many guys. So the small guard logic, I'm tired of listening to that. This kid, he's got one of those games where once he gets going, especially with the long ball, he's extremely dangerous. He puts a lot of pressure on Case and Wallace. When I watched him play Phoenix, he put a lot of pressure on Case and Wallace, not just on the ball, but off the ball, knowing which spots to cover, knowing which spots to roam to. I don't think Oklahoma City smokes these dudes. I think this is going to be a lot bigger. I think this is going to be a much better fight than what I thought it was going to be.
I mean, sure, it'll be a fight or whatever, but I mean, ultimately, we know the outcome. Oklahoma City will win in advance. And just earlier, 5 minutes ago, I said we're going to beat OKC. I'm probably lying as well. OKC the ball goes up, they start playing, the clock runs out, they've won the basketball game. I do like how Phoenix competes, though. I will say that they don't wilter. I see a lot of teams when they play OKC, right, and they get to picking up full and turning your ball handlers 2-3 times before they get past half court. Like I see some teams kind of shy away from that and kind of just quit. Luka Doncic and also Reeves, I'm speaking to you, right? But Phoenix won't do that, and Phoenix will meet force with force. That's also something I've seen with Phoenix. Phoenix will also pick you up and apply a lot of ball pressure and things of that nature. So I do, I'm looking forward to watching the game because I do think Phoenix is going to compete. However, again, OKC will ultimately take care of business.
But this is why I like the NBA Cup, Chill, because you push all your chips to the middle of the table, and all it takes is for a team to have one night off, And look, OKC don't have a night off, but Phoenix are a team that can give them some issues with the way they play. So that's why I love the in-season tournament, man.
Anybody could win it
because all the chips do or die basketball. Everything's on the table. There's stakes. It's we're in December. It's crazy. And all it takes is one off night, and then we can have someone that we didn't think would win the cup win it. So I'm very much looking forward to the games, man, tonight.
Yep.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the chat throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.